So let us continue from what we have been explaining on that function. Um, Look at this number one question. This is a typical exam question. This one is just a direct question. You have been told that f of x is equal to this. Now telling you that what if that x is equal to 2? That is, this solution for number one now. Number one solution. So you have been told that f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 3. You now have to find the expression for f of 2. That is, what if this x is equal to 2? What will be my answer? That is, anywhere I see x, I will input 2 there. So what will here will be 2. So I'll be left with here 2 to the power 2. I'm going to be having 4. With that, 2 times 4, we are going to be having 8 minus 3. Right? So I'll be left with what? Left with 5. So as simple as that. But here, 2 will be here. Power 2, we are going to be having it as 4. So we have 2 in this place. 4 times 2, you have it as 8. Then minus 3, we have something like this. That is one question. The second one is that now this is number 2 question now, right? We want to solve for f of x, and you have been given f of x minus 2, which is equal to this. Before you do anything is that you are going to equate this x minus 2 to a letter, to one letter. In such that, let's see the way I'm trying to explain. We have x minus 2. You are going to equate it to a letter. Let's say I use p. I use p now. Then you solve for x. For what we have here, we have here as x equal to p plus 2. What I have here. That means that if you're having f of x, we are having f of x. Anywhere you see x in this expression here, you will input what? X plus 2. This p will change to x in the expression. Like the way I have it here now, I have 2, open bracket. This x will be equal to this. Instead of having p plus 2, it will be x plus 2. There will be x plus 2. Then I have cube here. So you have negative here. What I have here, I have 7, open bracket. This x, I told you earlier, is going to be equal to x plus 2. This is how to go about it. Here also will be x plus 2. Here is square here. What I have here also is plus 7x plus 2. Then you expand it. You can use the Pascal triangle for it. Like I told you earlier, when we have 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. These two, how you come across is that 1 plus 1 is 2. That is, I have power 2 there. If I have power 3, I will continue by doing my Pascal triangle. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. Then I have 1 here. So therefore, this x, one that starts with x, is going to be carrying power 3, s cubed, while this 2 that is next to it be carrying power what? 0. So you add plus again, what I have here is 3. Put your 3 here. This x will be reducing by 1, decreasing by 1, here will be left with 2. This 2 will be increasing by 1 as well, 2, here will be power of 1. So plus, I have 3 also here as well. I'm going to be using each of it like this. From 1, here is 1 here, 3 is here, another 3 is here as well. So I have this x as well. It's going to be what here? 1. So this 2 will be equal to what? Square here like this. Like I told you, this first one will be reducing, while the second one will be what? Be increasing. So the last one will not be x to the power 0, then 2 to the power what? Power 3. So by so doing, I'll be having it. Anything to the power 0 is what? Is 1. So I'll have this one as x cubed plus. So in the case of here is that 3 times 2 is 6. I have 6s squared. So what I have here is that 2 to the power 2 is what? Is 4. 4 times 2 is what? Is 12. 12x. So another thing is that because x is power 1 here, I have 1x here. Then plus this x here is the power 0. Like I told you earlier, anything is the power 0 is what? Is 1. So 2 to the power 3 is going to give us what? 8. Like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8. So I have 8 in this place like this. So in the case of here is that I'm going to input this inside this. As I want to expand this. So I'll be having this f of x here will be equal to 2. What I have here is now s cube plus 6s square plus 12x plus 8. So that is what is going, that's what this one means. Then followed by, if I now have it in terms of square here, now look at the square that is there now. I'm going to use this second line here. So that means that if I have s square, right, 2x, are you following now? So I'll be having 2x, and let me explain like this for you. This is first one here. S is what? Square. 2 is what? 0. Plus, what I have here is 2. I have my 2 here. What I have here is to be reducing by 1, right? Here will be 1. 2 here will be what? Will be 1 here. Plus, here will be 0. Why 2 here will be what to power what? Power 2. Am I communicating? So therefore, I'll be having s square plus 4x plus what? Plus 4. So like I said earlier, s to the power 0 is going to give you 1. So anywhere I see this one, I'm going to input this thing inside here. So I'll be left with minus 7, the open brackets. Then I will have my s square plus 4x plus 4. I'll have it there. Then plus 7. What I have in this case, s plus 2. So close my bracket. So after doing this, now, then I can now multiply this by what is outside here. So what I have here is that I have 2s cubed plus 2 times 6, 12s square plus 2 times 12, 24x plus 8 times 2, 16 minus 7 times x, I have minus 7s square minus 7 times this, I have minus 28x. Just take it now because uh, 7 times 4 is what? Is 28, right? So we have plus here. We have minus there because minus 7 minus 7 plus minus 4. We are going to be having minus 28 here as well. So I'll expand this place. I'll expand this place as well. Do the same thing as here as well. 7x plus what? Plus 14. Now what is now left is that now you compare. Now I have 2s cubed here. Nothing is related to it. So plus, now for what is there now is that 2x squared minus 7, 12 minus 7, I have 5. So I'll be having here as 5s squared plus here is 24. We have 24 minus 28. I'll be having it as what? Minus 4. So I'll be having here is minus 4x. So what I have here is that I have 16 minus 28 plus 14. I have plus 2. Remember, I still have plus something here. So and I have plus 7 here as well. So my final output of here will be equal to 2s squared plus 2s cubed plus 5s squared minus 3x, because minus 4 plus 7 will give us plus 3x minus 4s plus 7s. We are having it as plus 3x. So then plus 2. So this is the f of what? F of x. From what we have here. This is f of x. What we have here. So we now have to find for the f of 3, that is, if anywhere I see x, I'm going to have my 3 here. So that means that for what I have in this case, I'm going to, let me continue from here. If I have it as Let's say I have 3 there. How am I going to go about it? Is that anywhere I see anywhere I see S, anywhere I see S, I'm going to have my 3 inside it. So I'll be having um 2, then bracket here. I have my X is now what? Is now 3. So it's about 3, that is cube, plus 5. So we have 3 square plus 3, so plus 2. So this is what I have here now. That is, anywhere I see X, I'm going to be having 3 there. Now let's go for what we have here now is that we now have 2 here, 3 to the power 3, that is 20 what? 27. So what is going to happen here is that 2, 27 plus 5, here will give me 9 here, plus 3 times 3 here will going to give me 9 here, plus 2 here. So now this multiplied by this, 27 times 2, I'll be having 54. So 54 plus 5 times 9, I have 45, plus 9 plus 2, I'll be having what? 11. So add everything together. So I'll be having it as 45 plus 54 plus, so I have 110, right? So this is my value for f of x. This is how to find for the what? f f of x, f of 3. To convert this one, this x minus 2 to f of x, is that you're going to equate this one to a letter. Then you now make the x your so the formula. Then we have it like this. So anyway, this p will be equal to as p as x. This p. So anyway you see p, you'll be using what? X there. That's why we have it as 2 brackets. This 2 is from here. Then this x cube has become x plus 2 based on what we have here. So this is just number what? Number 2. Now number 3. Number 3. So if we have f of x is equal to this, if you want to find the inverse of this, we have f of x equal to 2x plus 1. Now to get the inverse of this, that means that I'm going to I'm going to say that this 2x plus 1 equal to p. What I have here, this 2x plus 1 equal to what? Equal to p. Then solve for x in this expression here, or in this equation. I have 2x equal to p minus 1, then x equal to p minus 1 over what? Over 2. So this is what this s represents. That means that if I want to have my f of inverse of this now, it will be equal to anywhere I see p to be x minus 1 over what? Over 2. That is what this thing means. Now, if you now want to get this, if this x should now represent 3, it is equal to 3. So here will be equal to f inverse of 3. Do you get? So I have here as 3 minus 1 over what? Over 2. Which is what? 2 over 2 and what? 1. So as simple as that. You are dealing with, you solve for it. Anything that you have here will be equal to a letter. Do you get? You now solve for x, making your x to the formula. When you solve for your x, we have this, right? So that means that the inverse of this f of x is be equal to what we have here. Only that this p will be equal to what? Be equal to x. So just p here is having as x here minus 1 over 2. So now the answer that if this x should be 3, what will be your answer? Just like input 3 anywhere you see x, you have 3 minus 1 over 2. So 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1. So as simple as that. That is for number what? Number 3 is an inverse function. Now, let's imagine another scenario that can come up with that number 3. Another scenario. Let's assume that, let's say I have the functions of 2x minus 1 equal to 7x plus 8. Let's assume that way. And after that, find the inverse of 3. The function of inverse of 3, that is what we have here. this inverse function of that 3. Before you can find this one, you must first find the f of x of this expression first. You must first find the f of x of it. And based on what we have learned from the previous example here, so if I want to find my f of x, what I have here is that you equate this 2x minus 1 equal to what? Equal to p or any letter. So you're going to have it as 2x minus 1 equal to what? P. Then solve for your x. X will be equal to p plus 1 divided by what? Divided by 2. So that means that anywhere I see x in this equation, I'm going to put x plus 1 over 2 there. So I'm going to be having something like this. For what I have here, for my f of x here, will be equal to 7 in brackets x plus 1 over what? Over 2 plus what? Plus 8. This is my f of x. So that should expand it out. I'll be left with 7x plus 7 over 2 plus 8. So when you have the SCM here, I have to 7x plus 7 plus 16, right? So now, well, I'm not sure you go further by this. I'm having here as 7x plus 23 over what? Over 2, right? So this is what I have here as an f of x. So if I want to have my f inverse, you can now find your f inverse because we can find an inverse of what? Inverse of 3 there. So now, f inverse is that you must get it as this 7x plus 23 divided by 2 equal to p. We are dealing with this one now to get f inverse. What we have here is that we want to have our f of x. So we are dealing with what is here to get your value of x. As I will say that this one is equal to p. Then you solve for your p, whereby anywhere you see s, you are putting what you have here, x plus 1 divided by 2. So we have our f of x here. So if we now want to find your f inverse, so that means that we will say that 7x plus 23 divided by 2 equal to p. So solve for your x, be having that 7x plus 23 equal to 2p. So x will be equal to 2p minus 23 over what? Over 7. So now my inverse is equal to 2x minus 23 over what? Over 7. So when I have it as 3, if I have it as 3, anywhere I see x, I'll be inputting my what? My 3 there. So we have 2, I have 3 here, minus 23 over 7. So what I have here is that 6 minus 23 over 7. So now I'll be having something like, so we actually have 6 minus 23. I'll be having it as what? At minus 17 over what? Over 7. Let's look at this question that is there now. Well, we call this one composite function. Composite function, that is function of function. Now, inverse of g, that's what we're going to do here first. We have if g of x is equal to 1 minus x squared, right? Now, inverse of this one, inverse of this, so for it, like we'll be having it as 1 minus x squared equal to p. So for your x equal to p. Let's say this one come here, this one come here. 1 minus p. I rearrange it. That is, I bring my minus x squared here. But let me do like this to make it easy for you. So when this one come here, 1 minus p equal to this one come here become x squared. So when you square both sides, be having it as x will be equal to square root of 1 minus p. So my G inverse will now be equal to now the square root of 1 minus x. This is what's going to be. This p will change to x back. So this is the G inverse. Now f of 2, that is, initially my f of x is equal to 3x plus 2 over x minus 1. So this one means that anywhere you see x, you're going to be having 2 here. We're going to put 2 there. Since my f of x is equal to this, and what is there is this. So anywhere you see x, you're going to have 2 there. 2 is there plus 2 over 2 minus 1. So what I have here is I have 3 times 2, we have it as 6 plus 2 over 1, right? So what is there is what is 8, right? So that means that we'll be having it as G inverse of what? Of 8, because G inverse of function of what? Of 2 is it, and we have f of 2 as this, as 8, right? F of x, what I have here is this. When we have it as f of 2, we have it as 8. So that means that G inverse, we be having it as what is here is equal to 8. So therefore, what I have here, which is G inverse, since G inverse of s equal to square root of 1 minus x. So therefore, G inverse of 8 will be equal to 1 minus what? Minus x. So square root of what? Minus what? Minus 7. So you stop there.